So, not actual kidnapping, but this one's still a little dicey, okay? Am I the asshole for refusing to attend my brother's wedding after my sister-in-law left my 2-month-old on a park bench? Me and my sister-in-law have always been close. Her and my brother met when they were 15. I was 12 and I'm now 21. She was always really nice to me, and we bonded over the fact that my parents don't like either of us. A few weeks ago, I got called into work, and my sister-in-law said that I shouldn't waste money on a babysitter when I could just let them take her for a bit. My husband was also at work. I guess at some point, she decided to take her and her dog for a walk. She says they were walking through the park and the leash slipped out of her hand. Without thinking, she put my daughter on a nearby bench. She was in a little carrier, and she ran after the dog. She didn't even catch the dog. And it wasn't until 2 hours later that she even realized that she was missing.
Okay.
When I came to pick up my daughter, she broke down and told me everything. I was livid, but I was so thankful no one kidnapped her. My husband was so mad he stormed down to their house just to yell at her. She recently messaged me the details about her wedding. I told her I would not be attending. She called me, sobbing, saying that I am a petty bitch and she wishes someone would have kidnapped my daughter.
Oh, okay.
That's way
That
too
justifies
far.
the decision.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, at first I could see just being like, forgive me, but making that comment, like, no, fuck you. That is fucked up.
I hung up on her and she apologized and said she needs me there. My friends and family have called me saying I'm petty and that she was stressed and it was an accident. Am I the asshole?
That's not an accident. That's not an
Baby,
accident.
I
at all.
love dogs, love animals. Baby, dog. 2-month-old baby. Dog.
Yeah, but even if you set the baby down and 10 seconds later you're like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
did you
that was
say
dumb.
that she left the baby there for 2 hours?
2 hours.
Yeah.
And she didn't find the dog?
Didn't even get the dog.
No, got so distracted by looking for the
Was
dog.
she drunk?
Probably.
Because how?
Oh my God.
So do you want to know where this gets worse?
Does it?
So
Trick question.
Can it get worse?
it gets worse. It gets worse. Let me find the comment from OP. So apparently, like, OP is, again, this one is very, very responsive. She goes, kidnapping is quite common in my area, but the park is sort of hidden. But still, like, it's quite common in her area. Like, that is a terrifying thought.
Oh my God, that's so terrifying.
Yeah, playing with fire.
So someone comments and they go, yikes, what was she doing for 2 hours before she realized she left her on a bench looking for the dog the whole time? ? Not the asshole. And she goes, yeah, she said for about 40 minutes she was looking for the dog. Then she told me she went shopping for clothes for my daughter. How can you buy clothes for someone and not realize they were supposed to be with you for the last 2 hours?
Wow.
What happened to her? That's
Wow.
insane.
That's not even just spacing out or forgetting. That's just,
that.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's like memory loss.
Seriously. But the craziest thought to me about that is if I was the parent, I think about the fact that it's so frustrating that when I misplace my keys, I can't just like call my keys. I don't have like a tracker on them. I can't figure out where they are. If someone kidnapped your tiny little baby, you can't just like ping it.
Oh no, you'd be
Like,
fucked.
like what the fuck?
I
That
would
is the most
literally-
terrifying thing. I can't imagine. And like when you trust somebody to watch your baby, to leave them in a park by themselves
2
for
hours.
2 hours.
What if it was super sunny outside?
That's true
What if it was
too.
hot
Yeah.
and this baby literally fucking died from the fucking elements?
So scary.
Here I go swearing. I was doing so well.
No, I fucking swear.
But
I
that's,
thought
but that's the thing.
didn't Boke say that he liked how much I swore?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like, what if this little baby, 2 hours for a 2-month-old? 2 months old,
Insane.
2-month-old babies they're so little. They're so easily affected by heat and dehydration.
So I'm curious if she realized and then went back to the park and found her
That's
there.
what I was
Yeah.
wondering.
Or if there's actually other people around. Because if any of us were walking around and you see just a random baby on
By
a park
itself,
bench,
yeah.
all of us would run up and be like, all right, what is going on here?
Go to the police
and then
station
Right,
immediately,
you'd figure
yeah.
it out. So still,
But how do you even figure that out? You don't have like a name tag on a baby. You know what I mean?
well, still,
You call
but
the
at
cops.
least
I
you
know, but it's
know-
just so crazy. The idea that like you lose a baby, it's like, how do people identify?
It's
Yeah.
just at least you know that you have control of the situation in the sense that something terrible isn't going to happen. But this is just crazy. Either the park is not very popular, but still, even you're just tempting disaster.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, okay, the one thing that I will say is that so she went back and got the baby before they came home, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so she at least she admitted to it. Like,
And she technically like didn't have to say anything.
Yeah.
But
That's
true.
she did come clean
so
about
that's
it.
where I'm like, okay, well at least she's not.
Yeah. So OP does go.
That's admirable.
No
at
one
least.
picked the baby up. No one sat with the baby. The baby was just sitting there for 2 hours. And so OP goes, I'm sure that there were a few people in the 2 hours, but no one stopped to get her.
That's crazy.
If I saw an infant on a bench alone, I'd assume its mother was around the park somewhere, but I'd still keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I think it's very strange how no one stopped
Yep.
too. And so she like comments a bunch. And so she basically says, luckily it wasn't too hot, but she's a little sunburned on her arms. We've already taken her to the doctor/hospital. They said we shouldn't worry too much. And a lot of people are just kind of like, is your sister-in-law jealous of you getting all of this attention because you had a baby?
Doesn't sound like it though. It doesn't sound like a jealousy thing.
I don't know. I just,
Because if it was why would that be a jealousy thing? I don't like
I mean,
Right.
she's getting married and, you know, her future sister-in-law, you know, thinking from the sister-in-law that left the baby's perspective. It's like, I'm getting married. I want the spotlight to be on me.
So you think she just wanted the attention of being like, look what I did wrong?
No, but I think I think when people are jealous and insecure of themselves, they self-sabotage or they try to hurt those individuals that they're jealous of. For example, I read a story today about this individual who was insecure about their friend, had felt threatened by this friend, and during a test in school, she put laxatives in her drink and her sandwich at lunch to sabotage her friend from taking the test. And then if you go look at that person's profile, they also admit to crushing up sleeping pills and putting them in their friend's food.
Wow.
I think there's unhinged people that need mental health help.
But that's intention. Like that, like they had a result that they were looking for. Whereas this, I'm
So,
like, what result would she be looking for?
Maybe she wanted the baby to get kidnapped. Maybe she wanted to hurt her in a
But
way.
then why wouldn't she just try again instead of telling them what she did?
I mean, she left that child there for 2 hours and went shopping.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, why didn't she why would she tell?
Oh,
Like why
versus actually acting it out again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm like, I have no words for this one. I have no idea.
It doesn't add up. Like,
Yeah.
nothing about it
It's
adds up.
so weird.
But the fact that when she was confronted by, I'm not going to come to your wedding. And she was like,
Yeah.
I wish your baby
Yeah,
would have been
that's
kidnapped.
fucked
That is some
up.
crazy shit.
Instead of being like, you know what? I'm really sorry. I understand. I'm hurt. I want you there, but I understand.
Like I say some things that I don't mean when I'm really hurt, but like to bring the baby in and say I wish your baby got kidnapped, that is not okay.
Yeah.
That is
That
way
also,
too far.
but that doesn't surprise me that much. I don't think leaving the baby there was malicious. I don't think that was, for me at least, I'm not seeing that as the intention. I think it's just some person who is either very forgetful or just not all there to the point where you could forget that heavily. You're distracted by chasing a dog,
Yeah.
that you make a dumb choice and then realize
Go
it later.
shopping.
Right, but even still, you could be that far removed where you're just like
Then don't
just dumb, and then
don't commit to watching a 2-month-old baby.
Yeah.
right.
Really.
But they also wouldn't be smart enough if they could make these dumb choices
True.
to
To-
make that decision on the front end.
to say no.
So
Yeah,
yes,
you're right.
obviously going forward, no one's going to trust her with the baby.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't think she left the baby there on purpose.
So crazy.
I truly, this one has me very baffled.
Same.
I don't want to like think she did it maliciously because how fucked up is that?
Yeah.
Couldn't that end up being like some sort of crime?
Yeah. I mean,
Like, I don't even
of
know.
course.
But
I think even now she could get charges pressed against her for neglect.
Yeah, I was gonna say even the one that you had with Alejandra, the story where like the grandma left the 2-year-old.
I mean, there's reckless endangerment.
Yeah,
There's,
but it was like neglect too.
yeah.
She
I
just
mean,
left the child to go do laundry.
there's so many crazy laws that I mean, even lawyers don't know about. There's so many crazy laws and just specifics that you could probably press charges for, which she does mention in one of her comments. She gives like an update. She's like, I didn't think this post would really blow up.
They always say that.
I have agreed to go to the wedding if my brother chooses to follow through with the wedding. My sister and I are trying to convince him to just reconsider the wedding and take a second to actually think about what's happening. I'm seriously thinking about getting the police involved.
yeah.
But so someone made a comment, and this is why I'm like, I don't think there's any health issues involved. But someone made a comment. They're like, not the asshole, but have you talked to your brother about this? Was he not concerned that his fiance left his baby niece alone for 2 hours?
Right.
Also consider the fact that this isn't just your sister-in-law's wedding. It's your brother's wedding. So maybe if you want, you can just go in support of your brother, not your sister-in-law. If you don't feel comfortable with that, it's perfectly fine because you are entitled to how you feel. And she goes, yeah, I talked to my brother and he excused it by saying, quote, she's got diagnosed high blood pressure. Me and my older sister are trying to talk to him about reconsidering the engagement.
This is so far just so unrelated. And yes, it is a tangent, but I feel like we as people every day make just stupid mistakes that are pretty forgetful. Like one time I went into Chipotle and left the keys in my car with my car running the whole time I was in there, just not thinking. Mm-hmm. And I came out and I was like, what? How did this happen? Like, how did I make this mistake? And you almost just, you don't even understand what happened. And I wasn't drunk. I wasn't anything.
Well,
And so you just think like, and yes, a baby is a whole new ball game.
but
But I think you can still make weird, forgetful mistakes, especially if it also isn't her kid too. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
so I have the perfect thing. I mean, in the United States alone, the stats of babies dying in cars every year is horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean, parents, and one of the most like tragic pictures I've ever seen on the internet was a parent who left his child in the car when he went into work, forgot to drop the baby off at daycare, and the baby died in the car.
So sad.
And it's just like forgetfulness. He typically didn't bring the baby to daycare, his wife did. So he forgot to drop the baby off. He deviated from his routine. It wasn't, he was so locked in his patterns and his
Right.
behavior. And it's like, for the sister-in-law, she probably doesn't watch the baby a lot. The baby's only 2 months old. So, for her pattern and her routine is going to the park. Shit, her dog ran away. I got to think about the dog. And then it's like out of sight, out of mind.
that's my thought.
I think the confusing thing, because all of this, I could see it happening. The confusing thing to me is like, how do you just lose a dog and you're like, I'm just gonna go shopping now?
Yeah, did she find the dog?
Like, you said she didn't even find the dog. So like, I would think that if I lost my dog after 40 minutes of looking for my dog, I would be like,
Sick.
I'm gonna start making posters. Yeah. I'm gonna go to like the police or like the vet or whatever I can do to just like be like, hey, this is a picture of my dog. Please, everyone, look for this. Like the fact that like it was like 40 minutes and you're like, well, time to go shopping. That's where I'm kind of confused.
True.
She just seems off.
Yeah.
She's off.
Yeah.
I looked through the comments. There's no mention of her even finding the dog. The only comment related to the dog was, she said she was looking for the dog for about 40 minutes. So no idea. Sounds like this one is still really developing.
Damn.
Very interesting.
Yeah, there's no official update yet. And the last comment was basically, we're trying to get my brother to reconsider.
I would say that that's kind of invasive, and I don't, like if she genuinely, it was such an accident and she's so like remorseful, then like for you to be like, trying to break up her marriage. But the
I'm
fact
sure
that
there's other stuff going on, though. I'm sure this isn't the only thing.
Right.
I'm sure this is
and the fact, and it's a huge thing too. So it's not just like a small thing.
Yeah.
But like if it was genuinely such an accident, but the fact that she said, I wish your baby would have gotten kidnapped, that's the one that sticks with me.
Yep.
I'm like, how could you say that to somebody?
True.
bitch.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And people lash out when they're embarrassed or hurt.
Yeah.
Right. That's, we all do it. But it's so easy to just rectify a situation, or like the last thing you want to do is stir the boat more. The easiest way that you could rectify this is like, you know what? I'm really sorry I did this. I completely understand.
Sorry, what is stir the boat a phrase?
Oh, it's stir the pot.
Okay, sorry, go on.
But yeah, like you just got to smooth things over. It's like, I know I fucked up. I'm so sorry. I respect your decision.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you your space.
Yeah.
Versus, I wish your daughter would have been kidnapped.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Like if she would have just been like, you're a petty bitch. Fine, whatever. She's mad, she's hurt, she feels embarrassed. She crossed the line with that.
How is the rest of the family on the wife's side? My friends and family have called me saying I'm petty and that she was stressed. Why is the rest of the family on her side?
Well, because we don't know what story she's telling, probably.
Yeah.
The sister-in-law?
Or all of them. We don't know what she's telling us is completely everything.
Yeah, maybe they were all in on it.
Just wild.
Conspiracies.
Ugh, let's not even go about that.
Well, you guys love that.
What was that sound effect?
I was trying to copy your go, and then it was like even more powerful than I thought.
It sounded like an animated cartoon.
It was out of control. It literally sounds like it's outside of the headphones. I feel like it's all around us.
Okay, well.
I'm going to take a little bathroom break.
Okay, same.
I guess same.